to win that football game. Special teams with Kyle Martin, averaging 46 yards a punt and putting 2 inside the 20, and one of them was inside the 5. His last game here I thought was really special. Chris Boswell, thank goodness he's just a sophomore. Those field goals, a 54 and a 51, and the 38-yard punt that he had right before halftime where we lined up in the field goal formation and we downed it on the 1-yard line, which led to his 54-yard field goal going in at halftime, going up 10-0. I thought defensively we played really solid all day. Once again, it was the seniors that did it. Scott Solomon with his 7 tackles and 2 sacks. Xavier Webb with his interception, and he had 4 tackles on the day. I thought really had good coverage and supported the run well. And Justin Allen, 9 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 PBUs. I thought he really played big. The defense, we finished that game where the offense, we punted back to them with 6 minutes left in the game. Defense came up, and it was actually the last drive. It was 2 tackles by Justin Allen, 1 by Scott, which forced Tulane to punt the ball back to us, and we got really the offense put a drive together to score late that we had not done previously when we had those kind of opportunities. So it was great to see the offense score with a minute left in that football game. And the amazing thing about that last drive is it was 9 plays, and 8 of them were to Tyler Smith. He had 55 yards on that drive and scored on the 12-yard touchdown. But I was thrilled, really proud of those seniors and proud of the way we played hard throughout that football game, and it was a big win for us. And proud of the seniors, how we got out of there. Thought we did some things, at halftime offensively to attack them better on the perimeter. Thought the offensive coaches really did a nice job making adjustments, and good to get a win in those seniors' last game at home. SMU presents some big challenges for us. They're 19th in the country throwing the football. We've got to go on the road Thanksgiving. We've got to play solid in all phases. We have to protect the quarterback better this week than we did last week against Tulane. SMU defensively, their defensive line is really a solid bunch, and they're playing really well defensively right now. Look forward to it. We need to go try to get us our 4th conference win. Any questions?
Coach, with their just looking ahead, the ability there to finish again this second straight year with 2 straight wins, try to build something off of that, also finish 500 in conference. Those kind of the
Sure, absolutely. Finish conference 4-4. To win one on the road, we haven't done that this year. It'd be nice to go get a road win. That's all the reasons in the world we need to go get this win. SMU's at 6th; they're bowl eligible, and we need to get our 5th.
You mentioned just some of the seniors who contributed and had careers here, done so many things, but the 2 that are here, Tyler and Scott, they're kind of, the careers are kind of similar in terms of having to come back off of injuries and not knowing what was going to happen or the uncertainty. Can you just kind of go into what those 2 have done to come back from that kind of stuff and those adversity?
Really, you start with Tyler Smith, and I've said it before. His knee injury was catastrophic when he was a freshman. And the doctors really believed that he probably wouldn't be able to play this sport again. And just through his hard work and effort, he refused to take their advice and continued to work out. And you see how productive he's been the last 2 years. I mean, he's this season, you look at the production he had. Even Saturday, he averaged 5.8 yards a carry. I mean, he was our leading receiver. I don't know where we would be without Tyler. And you look defensively at Scott, who last year, the week before the Texas game, broke that 5th metatarsal, and has come back this year and has 9.5 sacks, leads the team in tackles for losses, just tied with 24 career sacks. Their play is instrumental, and even the ones we've lost, they're the guys that have kept us in them. You just, you really don't like to visualize next year without them because of what they've meant in terms of their athletic ability, but also they're such great people.
you had a chance to look at the Houston SMU game, and if so, you know, how Houston was able to kind of contain them and hold them down?
Yeah, that was unusual to watch. Case was a little off. The receivers dropped some passes they hadn't dropped, and then I thought there just was a solid defensive effort. They got that big turnover when SMU was driving, and just kept momentum. I thought they applied nice pressure on McDermott and just kept them off balance. They weren't running the ball without Lyon near as effectively as they have, but it was just a solid performance by Houston.
Anything you guys can use this week?
Just, what we have to do is what we do and just try to execute our offense and execute our defense better. One of the big keys last Saturday is Tulane had 2 turnovers and we didn't have any. As long as you take care of a football, you got a chance to be in it. We got to take care of the football this week.
Given June's reputation, are you surprised at how well they play defense all season? Because they're probably the best defense in this league.
Yeah, they really are. They're solid at every position. They run extremely well. One of the things it looks like they haven't got this year that they'd like to have is a lot more takeaways. I think I read they have 8, but they're very solid. MK, they run to the football. They don't make a lot of mistakes.
What was it, just a couple weeks ago, the offensive line had one of their better games. Did you see anything just from going back over to some of the problems they had?
Well, really, yeah, I think, last week Devon and Justin missed most of practice days as we got them healthy to play. Same with Tyler Parrish. He was a little bit injured last week. I think, you start the game and Drew Carroll gets beat up a little bit, and you just, you get to where you're mixing people up in there, and we've, hopefully this week the injury report looks a lot better where they'll be able to practice a little bit prior to the game. I think that'll help us.
Any thought with Taylor this week? Obviously Nick's going after this.
Yeah, we really had hoped to get Taylor in the game last week. We would like to get him in the game.
Coach Chase reportedly working out for the Texans today. Any thoughts on that? Have you had a chance to talk to him?
Just right when it happened, but I hadn't talked to him since. I know he's going to planning on staying in town a couple days, and he's going to try to come by this afternoon and see us. So excited for him.
How cool would it be if they were able to find a roster spot for it?
Well, you know what? I sat at home last night and thought, God, if we could get JD back here and Chase and James, and we could have a lot of fun with it. But I'm excited for him and glad he's getting that opportunity.
What do you think's been the key to why SMU has been so good defensively this year? Is it line play? Is it?
It's really they're solid. I mean, they're an older football team. They run extremely well. Banjo, I think he's been in the league, seems like 6 years. But I know he's just their senior ball club that stayed together, and they're playing extremely well. They run MK, linebackers run well, secondary runs well, and that defensive line is big and physical, and has gotten a lot of push on people's offensive line.
Do you think the way you guys won this game this past Saturday, it being low scoring and you kind of grinding your way through it, does that bode well for how you may have to win the game this coming Saturday, being that they've struggled in offense the past month themselves?
That's the crazy thing at Conference USA is you look 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we have 677 yards of offense. It's just almost how they unfold. We need to grind it out. You'd like to think, if we had to pound the rock, we could. We've tried, throwing it down the field a couple more times, just hadn't completed them, gotten those plays we were looking for since the UTEP game. But I think, we're working on a good game plan right now. Like I said, they're very solid. They're probably the most solid defense in Conference USA. Offensively, their offensive line's as good as you're going to see in Conference USA.
Have you been able to identify why they struggle offensively? Because they hit a little patch where they were playing really good.
We got some people hurt, and it just when you start losing some key people, and Zach Lyons, I'm sure that was just after the Navy game, but that's a big loss for him. He'd rushed for 1,200 yards this season, and now they've replaced him with a freshman who's very talented, but he's not what Zach was.
You made the point about turnovers. Can that become momentum? the ability to force them and get them and turn games around because of them, because that's also been a problem with McDermott. He's been turnover prone. How much do you preach that?
Right. I mean, when you see the video, that's really a lot of what's happened to them has been the turnovers. You know, you see them even in where it looks like they're about to score, and McDermott's thrown them down in the red zone, and that was really the difference in the Navy game. And that's, you know, something we hope that we could capitalize on. You know, anytime you can get a turnover, especially when you can get one a little closer to your end zone, that always helps. And those turnovers are key momentum builders in games. You know, that was so big for us, you know, just last week when Tulane fumbled that punt, you know, and you get the ball, it changes the whole attitude. Thanks. Tyler?